Alright, let's see. Where did we leave off last time? Binding Coils, part 1 of question mark. I believe we had just done second coil fight 1? That feels right? Is it right? I don't know. Let's see, we did... Yeah, last time I had to restart the part because Lamau, cool video game. Yeah, we did second coil, Rafflesia, and then I got DC'd. So let's continue into this now with second coil of Bahamut. Turn 2. Would help if I went back into New Game Plus, otherwise I'm just doing it for funnies. Yeah, I got DC'd last time. It made me a little bit angry, but we're back. Back again once again. Second coil of Bahamut, turn 2. Oh, I almost forgot to put on the rewatching playback. That would have been bad. Bad and sad. There we go. I'll turn the game up a little bit. Oh god, this is the one I'm gonna get lost in, isn't it? There's one, like most of these like I love that these are like full-on maps. No, here we go, there's a cutscene. There should be a cutscene. That armor? No, it couldn't be. Be on your guard, Kinliana. Though it defies all reason that he should live, I know of only one who wears such armor. He whom the Empire raised as high as the Black Wolf himself, the Legatus of the 7th Legion. I speak of the madman who brought the Meteor Project to fruition. We face the White Raven, Nael von Darnus, harbinger of the 7th Umbral Era. Nael von Darnus? Ah, that was the name of the fool who perished upon the eve of the promised Age of Glory. It should not be uttered within these hallowed halls. Out of love for his loyal servant, the one true deity named me Nael Deus Darnus. The one true deity? Bahamut. He speaks of Bahamut. O Lord Bahamut, thy name is as sweet water to parched lips. How my heart swells at thy sacred touch. This blessed sanctum is the domain of my God and his beloved children. Seek to defile its glory, and you will answer to me. How is this possible? From what Alphino has told me, Nael was slain on the eve of the calamity. Whatever the truth of the matter, we must be on our guard. There can be no reasoning with the worshippers of a primal. we're not going to mess around with auto-attacking like I originally planned to, just because there are some fights that, again, as stated last time, can kill me, and also because I'm playing against Twitch Savage and hoping I don't get disconnected, because if this ends up in 1,000 parts, it's really hard to use. So we will annihilate all the things, because we're level 90 in a level 50 zone. Moving to Sector 7. Moving to Sector 8. Arriving at Sector Bioweapon Storage. I don't even remember this boss. Lamau. So, Tier 1 is Rafflesia. Who are you? Who are you? Melusine. I don't remember you, Melusine. It's time for you to die. I don't know if these guys can petrify me, so I'm just gonna kill her. Just die, please. Thank you. Yeah. Don't want to risk the insta-kills that I know are there. They do exist. Even at my level. God, she's so happy. Level 50 adventurer, so happy. And then her life gets ruined over the course of, you know, the next lot of levels. Did I just totally miss the exit? I think I did. I think I went backwards. Hee. Bioweapon deployment. Stuff is actually really good to desynth because you can get some stuff that actually is fairly valuable. Turn 3. This is the one that I'm going to get lost in for 55 years. This is a big old maze, and I don't know the way through it, so I'm just going to run around like an asshole. Oop, going to run around like an asshole, and we're going to drop some more frames. Yeah, sorry again if we're getting some slideshow moments, but I don't know what's up with Twitch, but this week's been a disaster. I'm reminded of the passages beneath Castrum Occidens. We must have traveled quite some distance below the surface. More of the same tunnels. 12 be good. Surely they cannot continue all the way down from the upper floors. It is difficult to see inside, but I have a terrible feeling those corridors house more of the dreadful guardians you have already faced. It is said that the Alligans excelled in the creation of chimerical beasts, and that the Red Moon teemed with 1,000 fantastical monstrosities, all to prevent the enemies of the ancient empire from releasing the Elder Primal. I wonder, the creatures that prowl these halls, could they be the beloved children of which Nell spoke? Well, this is yet another mystery to ponder upon our return. Shall we continue onwards? So this place is a huge maze, and I don't actually know the answer of where to go. So we're just gonna, like, I don't even know. Just go. Alright, so... Yeah, and you get caught by the surveillance nodes and more crap spawns, and the never-ending shebang fun. Alright, so that came from that way. So if I go this... No, is this where I just came from? No. Maybe? No, this goes up further. Oh my god, I literally don't know where to go. This is gonna be an adventure. We're running around at the speed of sound. Oh, another surveillance node. Hello. Alright. So these tunnels, I'll go to the main deck. We're on the upper decks now. Do I want to go that way? Did I somehow go the right way? I think I did. Yeah, I think I need to go down south here. Okay. Yay, happy accidents! I've wandered around that place for minutes before. So many minutes. Alright, the Avatar. Oh, that's an insta-kill. Okay. We've found insta-kill number 1. Let's see if I can hallowed ground that. Otherwise, we'll have to try coming in on a DPS that can burst him down faster. Okay, you can't hallowed that. Maybe? This might be the first fight we can't do. Interesting. I swear I've done this before, though. Maybe I did it with someone else. I'm gonna try and hallowed one more time, but otherwise, we'll just move on to the next cutscene. No way to not get caught by this. Hallowed ground. Nope. Alright, you cannot hallowed that. Unfortunate. Alright, we will not be able to complete the second coil. Interesting. Yeah, I don't even think there's any class that I could go on that would be able to burst that guy down that fast. So that's like instant. Alas. I don't know if there are cutscenes. Well, there have to be cutscenes. Well, no, that's turn 3. I'm gonna go quickly check the inn room and see if maybe there are some cutscenes in the... Oh, you can't watch them on your New Game Plus mode. Whatever, I'll just pop out real quick. We'll just go do a quick peek at the inn to see if maybe there are some cutscenes in there we can grab to look at. But I don't remember how the raid cutscenes work in the Neverending Story. Alright, I don't think I can look at this in New Game Plus. Okay. And... Bahamut. Nope. Literally, Alize's Path 1 and 2, and that's it. Really? That's it? Huh. Fascinating. Yeah, like there's a ton of stuff there, but this one is just these 2 cutscenes, huh? Yeah, this is after it all. It's like the end of it. Primals. Yeah, no. Side story quest. Nope. These are beast tribes. They're Grand Company, seasonal, instance raids. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Second Coil of Bahamut, turn 3. What's cutscene 2? Is just the boss showing up? Yep, okay. That's just the boss showing up. And then we've got Coil of Bahamut, turn cutscene number 3. So this is what happens after you beat him. Look, guys, I did it. Hallowed Ground worked. Plot twist. It didn't work. Alright, looks like there was no cutscene. But good to know that these are in here, because anytime that I'm unable to kill something, we'll just pop in here and check it out. So we resume, New Game Plus mode, and let's pop into turn 4. That surely cannot be Dalamud. How? Where are we? The final resting place of Nell von Darnus. This is a grave for the undeserving. And for the crime of trespassing upon my god's sanctuary, this place shall serve as your grave too. No! In the hour of his failure, Nell von Darnus felt the currents of ether begin to bear away his essence. But before oblivion could claim the last of him, a divine will reached out, and I was born. Then did the words of my God resound in mine ears. Bring unto mine enemies crushing defeat, that they might know despair without end, and claim thee thus the victory which thou wert once denied. Cute. It would seem that little remained of Nail's essence when Bahamut plucked him from the brink of oblivion, and the result was the strange simulacrum. Nevertheless, her aura bespeaks great power. She channels the rage of the Elder Primal himself. Lord Bahamut, thy wish is my command. None shall scape thine unquenchable fury. Come, ye dull, unthinking beasts, bare your teeth. They will avail you not in the calamity to come. Stay back, Alize. I got this. I might got this. This could be another one. I think this is one that I can do, but it might take a couple tries, because I'm pretty sure it's got some enemies that if you don't one-shot them, they become invulnerable, and it's a little spooky. But I think I've done this one before. Now I'm gonna start dropping meteors, and then if they're too close together, it's bad. Yeah, so this might take me a couple tries. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think I beat this at level 80 though, so I'm pretty sure I should be able to do this significantly easier. Yeah, so now there's other meteors that'll fall. There are different types. Yeah, eventually, if like it gets bad, if specific ones like are too close together, you just have to like kill these things really fast. I hope they're not too close together, I guess. Wow, I actually spaced those ones out so that they didn't turn into golems, I think. Neat. I have no idea if I need to invuln this, so I'm just going to do it anyway. You can't invuln it, but it only did 3,000 damage. Ooh, this stuff also hurts. Okay, so if you don't get rid of the meteors, then I don't want to be in the middle, I don't think. I know there's some that get like a weird thing in the middle. Ooh, don't touch the wall. Wall bad, wall bad. Okay, whew, we did it. And I got an achievement for it. Wow. I think I already had that achievement on PS4, but until you repeat stuff on PS5, you didn't get them. Yeah, that was a lot harder on level 80, because the things, if you didn't one-shot the golems, it was bad. One of them would turn giant and invulnerable, and you would die. Second coil of Bahamut complete. Ooh. I think this song is incredibly valuable, so I'm gonna actually look into maybe selling that. pop them in here. I think I already have these weapons, actually. Elegant chess piece. Right, I didn't actually hate how this looked. Already have one, though. I do. I do, on another retainer. Alright, let's go back to... Actually, hold on. Is Alize even at the Waking Sands? Nope. About to go to the Waking Sands for no reason. Pray return. Always pray return. Truly, it is wonderful to escape that stifling air and return to northern Thanalan again, it would appear. I must thank you, Kinliana. Were it not for your bravery, I strongly doubt I would be standing here now. Ah, but you need not tarry on my account. The danger has passed. Pray go on ahead and appraise Urianger of all that has occurred. I will join you anon. My thoughts are yet unruly, and I would rest here a while. Now I have to pray return to the Waking Sands. The triumphant hero doth return. Thine eyes speak of the dread task's completion. The second coil now lieth dormant. Yet I sense the tidings thou bearest are not altogether glad. Pray tell me, what ill hath cast the shadow which falleth now across thy brow? Urianger, you would not believe the random stuff that we fought down there. Very spooky. Conjuration and Thrall of the Elder Primal. We didn't run into him. I feel like we're missing cutscenes here still. That the fiend should deign to choose him of all men, even in full knowledge of the shade's true nature, I would be hard-pressed to weather such a confrontation. Yet what agonies must the young mistress have endured? Such torment did she ne'er deserve. Perhaps 'twere better if the Lady Alize did absent herself from future forays unto the coils. I've come too far to surrender to grief, Urianger. My lady, I am resolved to defeat these fiends, and naught shall sway me from my path. Now, let us peer more deeply into the well of our discoveries. As you wish, my lady. By your leave, I would first speak of the Coil's late guardian, Nell von Darnus. Von Darnus was a legatus of the Garlean Empire, who strove to bring about Eorzea's final destruction, only to fall even as the sixth sun did set. If thou hast heard the tale of the White Raven, then it is he of whom they speak. Aye, he, I say, for Nell was certainly no maid. The noble house of Von Darnus, as we discovered all too late, had long safeguarded the wisdom of ancient Alug. 'Twas thus that the legatus came to learn the true nature of Dalamud, and seek to employ the Red Moon as a weapon against Eorzea. But the Crystal Tower, and the mechanisms required to command the satellite, yet lay hidden beneath the ground, compelling Nell to construct a far less subtle mechanism. And in his first faltering attempts to communicate with Dalamud, he did likely rouse the satellite's slumbering prisoner. Thenceforth did the White Raven's soul belong to Bahamut. He was fortunate indeed to acquire so powerful a thrall by chance. 'Tis little wonder he was so loath to part with him. Why let a simple thing like death deprive one of so useful a pawn? Though we may accuse him of bungling Von Darnus's resurrection, I dare say Bahamut was as content to have a handmaiden as a manservant. I only hope that the two thralls we encountered were the extent of his flock. Yet I cannot help but dwell on Nail's words, those beloved children of whom he spoke. I assumed at first he referred to the moon's beastly guardians, but should Bahamut have enslaved other mortals, we must needs remove this source of worship, otherwise our efforts to disable the coils shall be for naught. Forgive me mine indelicacy, my lady. Thou art wise indeed to speak of expunging the primal thralls, but canst thou truly pursue a course which would cost thee thine own grandsire? My heart and mind are as one on this matter. Grandfather's salvation can be won by but a single method, the destruction of Bahamut, and aught that might serve to sustain him. Kinliana, while Urianger and I endeavor to ascertain the existence of any further thralls, I suggest you grant yourself a moment's respite. Rest assured that I will contact you the moment I have need of your inimitable talents. That we have achieved so much I owe to you. I fear, however, that our trials have barely begun. I'm definitely not getting all the cutscenes I'm supposed to be getting. Though time had dulled the pain of thy passing, I find that I am wounded afresh. Master Louisoix, what good shall come of this unending search for knowledge and truth? Long have I believed the pursuit of such treasures to be the duty of every true Charlian, yet when each new revelation serveth only to heap further anguish upon those whom we would fain protect, must we truly reach for more? So you have found your resolve, dear sister. Will you now find a use for the secret, for the key that only you and I hold? Given our familiar propensity for curiosity, you would do well to remember that keys may serve to seal doors as well as unlock them, and Bahamut is a most unwelcome guest to whom the door should never have been opened. Yeah, before we... Now, we'll talk with Urianger, and then I'm gonna go check the inn room again, because, like, we definitely missed the cutscene where we run into Louisoix, and it's just not giving us all of them. This New Game Plus was not very well designed, unfortunately. Man is wont to cast light wheresoever secrets lie hid in darkness, though that which he illuminateth seldom bringeth him joy, so it is with such unhappy truths as Bahamut's immense shadow doth conceal. Yet ever onward forgeth Mistress Alize, undeterred by the burden of knowledge that weigheth heavy on her heart. 'Tis a perilous path she hath chosen, and a painful one. I prithee, Kinliana, remain by her side as a valiant blade, that she might quest to its conclusion. Kinliana, it is well that you are here. My lady, how might I serve you this day? I have met with some difficulty in my mission, Urianger. I should be grateful for your counsel. As you know, Bahamut's physical form is regenerating beneath the Cartano Flats even as we speak. If we are to prevent his return, we must needs disable the two remaining internment hulks that sustain him. Every moment our mission is delayed, the realm is pushed closer to the brink of destruction. Alas, though I have determined the locations of the fragments of Dalamud leading to the hulks, I have been unable to find a way to enter them. And gaining admittance is but the first step in your perilous undertaking. When last thou descended into Bahamut's subterranean fastness, thou didst discover, didst thou not, that the dread primal had bound the shade of Nail Von Darnus unto his will. And though thou didst consign the fallen legatus to blessed oblivion, thou mayest recall that the pietous wretch was not alone. Doubt not, but that Bahamut's other thralls seek to hinder thy passage. You can say his name, Urianger. I have not forgotten that my grandfather is waiting for us. My lady, I would remind you, as I must oft remind myself, that the man whom we both loved and revered is no more. What remaineth is but a shade, which defileth his memory. The vile verbiage that spilleth from his lips must not be heeded, for it cometh not from your grandsire, but from Bahamut himself. You need not worry, Urianger. Come what may, I will not stray from the course. I will not let grandfather's sacrifice be in vain. But mere words will not take us whither we must go. As I said, I have been unable to find a way to enter the fragments of Bahamut. My lady, might I suggest that you visit the fragments again in Kinliana's company? Full oft hath the warrior of light set events in motion by virtue of her presence alone. 'Tis possible that she may do so again. I, the while, shall search for answers of mine own. By our efforts combined, full sure am I that the path shall be revealed to us ere long. Were it anyone else, I would question the wisdom of such advice, yet I cannot deny that what you say about Kinliana is true. Very well, I shall do as you suggest. Assuming you have no objections, of course. Good. Now we seek entry to 2 fragments of Bahamut. One lies at the Burning Wall in eastern Thanalan, the other in the Singing Shards in Mordona. I left an assistant at each location, with instructions to continue searching for a means of ingress. It is not impossible that they could have since found something useful to us. Let us begin by visiting my man at the Burning Wall. Dex, I think it was. Alright, we're going to take a quick pit stop to Gridania and see if the cutscenes that I'm very blatantly missing are accessible. So what's the closest inn? I always go to Gridania, like as a habit, but... No, you know, we'll go there anyway, just because I like Foundation. I just like it here. Out of water, and I'm sad about it. Nope. Innkeeper. Alright. Suspend. Alright, let's take a peek, see. That quest was called Alize's Resolve, and I feel like the one that I saw that was kind of weird was right here. No, it's Alize's Path. Okay, this is after the last one, it looks like. But, instance raids, second Coil of Bahamut, turn 4. Like the last cutscene, what goes on here? Okay, this is something we missed. Okay, so I'm gonna check one other thing really fast, because we definitely missed something, I believe, at the end of turn 5 as well. So what happens here, or at the end of the binding coil, the first coil? Yeah, I think this is, we didn't see this either. Because if we look, we're looking for the boss fight here. The 5th coil. Yeah, okay, so we killed Twintania. Twintania died, and then I got no cutscenes after this. So this is what happened last time before Rafflesia. We missed a little bit here. Bad New Game Plus. Why'd you do this? It's bad. It's a contraption. It is used to control the saturation of ether. I suppose there's only one way to find out. The dragon you vanquished earlier, doubtless you noticed the peculiar contraption about its neck. It was likely a receptor of some description, used to enslave the creature. Ancient Alec possessed the means to control dragons, it would seem. The Ishgardians would kill for this knowledge, though to be sure, it could as easily be brought to bear against them. An army of dragons could turn the tide of any battle, as the Garleans once learned to their sorrow. I would not be the least surprised if they now sought to exploit this power. Whatever their plans, this serves as another reminder of the might of Allegans. One cannot help but wonder how so advanced a civilization came to fall. gods be good. Yeah, we missed a whole bunch of important stuff. Jeez, like this is where they see Bahamut's goddamn head. This is Bahamut's head. And that enormous crystal, it pulsates as if it were a heart. Then the primal that had awakened was Bahamut all this time? No, 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 this cannot be true. This would mean that grandfather died for naught. Confound it, we do not know enough to strike at it now. We must withdraw. Who's that? No, can't be. Grandfather, is it truly you? Yeah, Louis saw a nail. No, don't leave me again. Please. Grandfather! I know. We can do no more for now. But this looks like... How did we come to be in northern Thanalan, of all places? Oh, but such details matter little. Grandfather's alive, Kinliana. Bahamut did not defeat him. But why won't he return to us? I don't understand. This expedition has yielded more questions than it did answers. At any rate, we should both be better for a little rest. Let us return to the Wicking Sands and reflect upon what we have seen. Thank you, Kinliana. Without you, none of this would have been possible. Yeah, so that was after Twintania. Pretty heckin' important. I don't know why they even, like, I don't even know, dude. I don't know why they didn't include that in the literal New Game Plus really important stuff. Alright, so now we can see what happened after beating Nail von Darnus, which is probably a cutscene 3? I don't remember. Yeah, so we didn't see this, but I just want to make sure that I definitely get... It's the defeat of Darnus. Yeah, okay. Darnus is dead. Poor creature, would that you had never been born. You had surrendered your physical form and collapsed into ether, but Bahamut denied you death and imprisoned what little was left of you in an ethereal shell resembling... what, I wonder? Images from your memory, perhaps? But that shell is now broken, and your primal deity seems disinclined to sustain your existence. My primal deity? I kneel to no icon. What need have I to beg the favor of such filth? I am Nell von Darnus, legatus of the 7th Legion. No. A moment. My thoughts are clouded, and this body is not mine own. Could it be that you spoke the truth? Was I ensorcelled by the Lesser Moon's ancient prisoner? That will not happen again. You speak as if Bahamut no longer controlled you, but that's impossible. Once a primal ensnares a mind, it cannot be freed. Unless Bahamut simply relinquished his claim. What need has he of a broken spirit bound for an ethereal realm? Oh, that I should fall prey to the very influence I sought to purge from the land. The irony is galling. But do not assume that all of my actions were chosen for me. It was my will that the Meteor Project be resurrected. Mine and none other. Yet it seems that my grand designs were destined to fail. Even the ungentle release of death was denied me. Nail, please, you must tell us more of the calamity. I must know the truth of what has befallen the world, and what has become of my grandfather, Archon Louisoix. You are Louisoix's grandchild. Ugh, the fates are generous with their cruelty. Continue on, if you would have your answers. They await you at the terminus of your path. But know that this path leads only to despair. The light of truth was ever harsh and unforgiving. Why do you say this? Grandfather will be freed once we put a stop to Bahamut's restoration, will he not? What are you not telling us? Steel yourself, child. Only unbending resolve and merciless strength can conquer what lies ahead. The weak can do naught but weep under the pall of their own misery, as did the frail child I once was. Ooh, ow. Ouchie, ouch. Silence, chattering raven. Your wretched wings are broken, and you shall soar no more. My crimson moon, your brilliance sears mine eyes. I recognize that voice, Kinliana. You would never say such words. Come, let us finish what we came to do. All will be put aright when the final hulk lies dormant. Grandfather will be himself again. Sure of it. Bahamut regenerates more swiftly than I had anticipated. Let us hope that disabling this coil will serve to slow the process. The display seems different, but the controls appear to mimic the mechanism we found in the Lenosian Hulk. It shouldn't pose a problem. Liana, forgive me. The moment I beheld Nail's transformation, hope wilted in my heart. I did not believe you could stand against the manifestation of Bahamut's power. For all your fabled strength and skill, I felt certain that I was going to lose you, just as I lost my grandfather. Even he, a man for whom naught seemed impossible, was humbled before Bahamut's might. And yet, look how far we've come. 'Tis incredible the feats of which we are capable, our boundless potential. 'Twas this capacity for greatness, I believe, that Grandfather so dearly wished to protect. With all that has occurred, I've come to understand that much at least. 'Tis done. Shall we make our way back to the surface and gather our thoughts? We have seen much that will benefit from Urianger's learned perspective. Grandfather, it is you! Then why? Abandon this quest, Alize. I will not countenance further sabotage of the coils. Sabotage? But we must disable the coils if we are to prevent Bahamut's revival. Your defiance seals your fate. No. No, you are not who I thought you were. My grandfather would never. Foolish girl. How could the White Raven allow herself to be bested by such sniveling opponents? Listen well. We all exist at the pleasure of one divine will. And the word of Bahamut is absolute. Scurry back into your holes, vermin. You have been granted this one reprieve, but should you be so foolish as to crawl into my lord's domain again, I will crush the life from you myself. The light in grandfather's eyes suffered the same fate as Nail. My grandsire is no more. That was naught but a phantom that profanes his noble memory. This mockery must be expunged. Will not rest until I free grandfather's soul from Bahamut's tyranny. Do you hear me, Bahamut? Your time is at an end. Eorzea and my family will be avenged. And then we pop out on the surface, and then we go talk to Urianger, and then they're like, let's go talk to the people to go into the other places. So we're just gonna have to jank together the friggin' cutscenes here and the New Game Plus, because for some reason Square Enix decided that this was like an acceptable New Game Plus iteration, missing 99% of the content. But that's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, we are going to the Burning Wall. Literally, it only has given me the option to watch the opening cutscenes of these parts, which is like 2% of the content. Luckily, I've done these before, and so I have all of them in the Never-Ending Journey. Obviously, I've done them before. I couldn't do New Game Plus. But like, I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. It makes me worried about the other raid ones as well. But Bahamut is a little bit janky compared to the others, so I'll just have to hope that they don't screw up the rest of the expansions ones, because otherwise we're going to be doing a lot of back and forth between the in-room and this stuff. Just because the in-room won't have the in-between, like it wouldn't have this conversation I'm about to go have with whoever's over here. So we'll be piecing a lot together. Hello, buddy. I say, are you not Mistress Ironhide, my lady's most faithful companion? Sinis, madam, at your service. And may I say what an honor it is to meet you. How goes the survey, Dex? My lady. Shames me to say that I have found no viable path to the fragment. Though it stands there before our very eyes, the way thither has thus far proven impassable. When the fragment fell and pierced the land, it caused a prodigious amount of ether to spew forth. 'Twas this that gave rise to the land's twisted lay, which seems destined to thwart our efforts. Even were an opening to exist, I fear that we would struggle to reach it. We cannot give up. Keep trying. So near and yet so far. Well, it avails us not to stand here and stare at the thing. Let us away to Mordona and try the other fragment. Perhaps Sinis has fared better. Upon that note, my lady, there is something I must tell you. I'm sorry to report that I lost contact with my brother just over a bell ago. As you know, the singing shards are home to many fell creatures, ogres among them. While I do not wish to cause you undue alarm, I fear something unspeakable may have happened at Dex. What? Why didn't you give me strength? We must hurry to my assistant's aid, Kinliana. That's the fact that Alize definitely has their names backwards. Yeah, because he introduced himself as Sinis. And she was calling him Dex. Oh, Alize. I feel like that's intentional just because Alize and Alfino are kind of pretentious little shits in The Realm Reborn compared to, you know, when they actually get some character growth. Alize's not as bad as Alfino, but she's still very, she's got a very entitled view in the world still, you know. Why did my grandfather have to die to save all of you when you all suck? Like, well, your grandfather died to save them all because he wanted to. Where am I going? Yeah, and so this is all about her learning the reason behind Louisoix's decision to save people that she sort of deems unworthy. Thank you, adventurer. For a moment there, I feared that my bones were to be ground up and used to bake bread. I'm relieved to see you are unharmed. It was wrong of me to press such a dangerous task upon you. My lady, your worries are wasted on me. It was nothing at all, I assure you. If it please you, I shall report my findings. As you can see, though the tip of the fragment is exposed, the rest is encased in rock and crystal, rendering it impossible to enter the structure. We might try excavating the area around the fragment, but that is like to take time, and there really is no telling how deep we may need to dig before we find a suitable point of ingress. As such, I am forced to conclude that gaining entry to this fragment is unrealistic. Forgive me, my lady. Confound it, we are losing precious time. What are we to do now? 'Tis I, Urianger. Glad tidings have I for thee and my lady. For a blessing, a way hath been found by which thou mayest enter the remaining fragments of Dalamud. Pray escort Mistress Alice to the cerulean processing plant in northern Thanalan. There, all shall be made clear. Urianger has found a way. We must go to him at once. Yeah, apologies again for the frame drops that are happening in here, but Lamau, Twitch plus internet equal funny PowerPoint. Mine apologies for summoning you thus from afar, my lady, but 'tis here that your journey may finally begin. I did wonder. To my knowledge, there are no fragments in northern Thanalan. Nor are you mistaken, my lady. Yet a pathway doth exist, one which you yourself have made use of in the past. At the conclusion of your several forays into the binding coil, 'twas at the crystal formation which lieth to the north of this place that you did emerge, was it not? Yes, an ethereal stream bore us back to the surface. That much I had surmised. Are you suggesting that we can use it to return underground? And even if it were possible, would it not simply bear us back to those places we have already explored? It need not, my lady. Pray allow me to explain. Upon the evidence of your experience, it seemeth plain that two internment hulks may share the self-same ethereal egress. From this we did infer that others may be connected in likewise. Thus did we labor long to verify the existence of further tributaries to the self-same stream. in which task we were at length successful. It was then but a matter of arriving at the solution to the problem of traveling to an unattuned destination. That one might reach what we call the headwater, we propose to employ a modified aetherite which serveth to amplify such ripples as do originate from said source. By focusing one's essence upon these ripples, it should be possible to make the journey. Yet, be fairly warned, my lady, as with all untried modes of ethereal travel, this method entaileth considerable danger. Merely to attempt the voyage could cost you your life. That is a risk I am willing to take. You are brilliant, Urianger. But I am curious. Did you have assistance in forming this plan? I cannot help but notice you repeated use of the word we, unless you have taken to using the majestic plural in our absence. Nay, my lady, as you've correctly surmised, I was not alone in this endeavor. Meaning there are others who are aware of our mission. Well, it cannot be helped now. Preventing Bahamut's return is what matters. If some secrecy must be sacrificed to achieve our goal, then so be it. Oh, come on, you're not that dumb, Alize. You know exactly who helped him. It's your boy, Alfino. But he doesn't want you to know that, you know, he's helping you out. And these random schmucks, but they're from a Grand Company, so, you know. So that must be the modified aetherite. But what are the immortal flames doing here? These men may be sworn flames of Ul'dah, but they are first and foremost faithful retainers of House Leveilleur. Alfino! So it was you who was helping Urianger. Who else could it have been, dear sister? Lest you worry, I have no intention of making the details of your venture public. Like you, I would prefer to avoid causing a panic. But given which is at stake, namely the survival of the realm, one must be willing to accept help when it is offered, would you not agree? At the very least, do not be cross with Urianger. It was at my behest that he kept silent. We will speak later. Pray forgive me, my lady, but knowing full well your intent, I judged it meet that Master Alfino be informed. Though your grandsire hath become Bahamut's thrall, his noble blood courseth yet through both your veins, and if he must needs be struck down... Do you hear that, Alfino? I mean to strike down grandfather, and when I have done so, I shall banish Bahamut to the ether. Nothing you say will sway me from my course. I will protect Eorzea, and I will uphold grandfather's legacy. Grandfather's legacy? So you still do not know what you yourself desire. Your actions are still driven by borrowed resolve. Borrowed resolve? What does that have to do with anything? Protecting Eorzea was grandfather's goal, and we made it ours, both of us. That is why we came here, unless you've forgotten. Gods forbid I should ever forget, Alize, but you misunderstand. I do not question your resolve, only whence it came. If it were your own, you would be able to tell me precisely why you desire so fervently to protect Eorzea. Yet you cannot, for it is not your resolve, but grandfather's. You may struggle to see the difference, but borrowed resolve shall never be as strong as that which springs from within. But let us speak of this another time. For now, preventing Bahamut's return is all that matters. To be plain, I have no objection to striking down whatever is left of grandfather. Know, however, that I will be accompanying you this time. As a son of House Leveilleur, I will be present for his final moments. Very well, you may join us on one condition. I make the decisions. If it pleases my lady, the name's Erkarad. Our preparations are just about complete. When you're ready to embark on your mission, just give the word. I'll be waiting for you at the cerulean processing plant. Pay no heed to my brother. You can rely on me. We've come far together, you and I, and together we shall see our journey to its end. Been waiting for you, Mistress Ironhide. I'm pleased to say that the aetherite's primed and ready. As you know, the remaining internment hulks are connected to the fragments in Ether Thanalan and Mordona. It's the former that will be sending you first. Now, you'll be starting inside the hulk, meaning you won't have to cover so much ground. The drawback being that you'll be fighting for your life from the moment you get there. Best be prepared for anything, for my lady's sake, if not your own. And that's about all I can tell you. When your preparations are in order, just give me the word, and I'll send you on your way. I may even throw in a prayer for your speedy return, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, so now this is the quest that's after the final coil. So we're going to go back to an inn. I'm just going to do these parts from inside of the inn, and after each part, we're just going to check and see if there's anything after the fight. Because for some reason that they thought this was set up well, and it's really just missing 90% of the story. Because, you know, we literally would have not even seen Louisoix if I hadn't caught on that stuff was missing. Like, silly video game. Silly video game. Alright, but we can queue into the first one first. I don't think there's going to be anything missing before it. The final coil of Bahamut, turn 1. So this is how it looks on the inside. This internment hulk still functions. The teleportation was a success. We are come to the right place. There is no telling how much further Bahamut has regenerated since we last beheld him. Let us make haste to the main bridge and deactivate the coil. There were receptacles similar to these in the previous hulk. Those held chimerical beasts, but only the Alligans know what other abominations may be sleeping within. They may well have part of Dalamud's internal defenses. We must stay on our guard at all times. So pissed he's here. This was my mission, Alfino. God, why do you have to involve yourself in my job? Cute elf twins. I love them so very much. What's attacking me? Oh, I guess... Oh, they woke up when that big thing saw me. That makes sense. The other one. Oh, there you are. Oh, okay. You have to kill them all to activate the teleporter. That makes sense. Oh, I think the fact that I killed them before they saw me made it so nothing else spawned in. That's kind of clever. Alright, what do we have at the end? What do be the boss of turn 1? I honestly don't remember. I've only done these once. Ooh, cute. Alright, let's see if this thing can one-shot me. Oh, it's invulnerable. God damn it. The DPS could obviously take this out faster, but gotta stay true. Gotta stay true to my class. Paladin or bust. Oh, that was invulnerable for that. Oh, it's still invulnerable. Why are you still invulnerable? Why? Why you do this? Did I break it? Do I lose? Do I have to be electrocuted? No. I think I just over-damaged it so much that I skipped like 2 phases. How about now? There we go. Lamau. By the 12 dragons, and so many. We were aware that the Alligans possessed the means to control the creatures, but to imprison them thus is barbaric. I would not wish such a fate upon my worst enemy. It is plain that no love was lost between the Alligans and the dragons, but was it truly necessary to keep so great a number here? Bahamut did not want for defenses. This we've experienced firsthand. Such guardians as the Alligans created, both living and unliving, were surely no less capable in repelling intruders than these poor creatures. Tell me something, Alize. Have you not managed to determine by whose will Bahamut exists? No, I have not. At first I assumed that Bahamut had no people of his own, that the Alligans had perhaps discovered a way to simulate prayer itself. However, Nail's words gave me cause to reconsider, specifically the Shade's mentions of Bahamut's beloved children. From that I inferred that the Primal is given form by the will of worshippers, whom we've yet to... Oh. God strike me down for a blind fool. Bahamut's beloved children, right there before my very eyes. How could I be so stupid? Who else but the dragons of Eld would summon Bahamut? Who else but they could sustain him? And to think I wondered why the Alligans kept them imprisoned here. Even should the flames of Bahamut's life go out, his faithful children would summon him back. For this reason, the Alligan Empire kept an army of dragons here in a perpetual state of duress, that they might sustain the Primal's existence. Truly, the Alligans' ingenuity knew no bounds, and neither did their cruelty. Small wonder that Bahamut was so enraged. Let no one deny that it was man who sowed the seeds of the calamity. Will you now turn your hatred towards our own kind, dear sister? Do not patronize me, Alphino. I merely acknowledge our guilt. Lest you be in any doubt, I have no intention of allowing Bahamut to lay the world to waste, regardless of the atrocities the Alligans committed against his kind. We have no choice but to eliminate all who worship him, be they his children or his thralls. It seems reasonable to assume that the system responsible for the Primal's regeneration is also responsible for sustaining the captive dragons. If we disable it, all should perish. Let us press on. Sure that that's the last scene there, but you never know. I now have unending paranoia to go along with these unending journeys that I'm missing something because Lamau. Alright, final coil, turn 1. Is the last cutscene the cutscene we just saw? Yes, it is. Okay. Final coil, turn 2. Didn't even notice there were platforms there. Just running around like a jerk. Uh-oh. Do we have to have 2 people? Oh, no. I think I've been thwarted. I think I've been thwarted. I think you have to have 2 people standing on these pads. Oh, no. Alright, well. Illegal. We'll just have to... We'll have to theater of the mind it with the crap here. Alright, final coil turn 2. Intro cutscene, cutscene number 2. Wow, guys, we made it through. Can you believe it? Fighting a spoopy dragon. Mechanical Hydra monster. That's fun. Bum, bum, bum. Nope, don't watch the same cutscene again. Alright, I'm assuming this is going to be the spoopy dragon dying. Just like that, we won. Wowee! Why, this looks like a model of Dalamud, yes. For millennia, Bahamut must have gazed at this unchanging view. Trapped inside a prison that was scarcely large enough to contain him, unable to move, denied the release of death, how his hatred for man must have burned. And that hatred found an ideal vessel in Nail von Darnus. In many ways, Bahamut is to be pitied, not loathed, but knowing the true extent of his fury, I am more convinced than ever of the necessity of our endeavor. Besides, he is not the only soul that cries out for vengeance.
gods, he is almost whole again.
I forgot there were voice cutscenes at the end of this. Let's go, ARR. Terrible voice acting. Take it away.
His size is staggering. I can scarce imagine how Grandfather stood against such a monstrosity.
This cannot be allowed to proceed any further. Let us disable the coil and move on.
I don't mind her voice. Alfina's voice was a little pretentious.
Grandfather? No, that man is dead. I will not dishonor my beloved grandsire's memory by calling you such. You are but his twisted shape, the thrall of a mad primal.
You were foolish to disregard my warning, child. Are you so convinced of your own righteousness?
'Tis the rightness of our path that led us to return. Eorzea will never be safe whilst Bahamut remains to threaten all we hold dear. What of the hero who gave his life in defense of the realm? Do you truly dispute the justice of our cause?
My poor, ignorant grandchildren. Your world is shaped by naught but recent conflict. Listen, and I will speak to you of justice. 'Twas in the twilight of the Third Astral Era. The southern land of Mericidia suffered invasion at the hands of the Alagon Empire. With no atrocity too depraved for their purpose, the forces of Alec were unstoppable in their advance. Desperate for salvation, the dragons prayed to one of their first brood, to their ancestor Bahamut. Infused by the power of their fervent supplications, Bahamut arose from the abyss of death and took wing as the Mericidians' newborn god. Yet this great miracle would only serve to further the maniacal designs of the dragon's imperial conquerors. The cruel fetters which bind my lord stand testament to the Alagon's boundless greed and hubris. I once summoned the 12 in an attempt to forestall the advent of the 7th Umbral Era. What then did the dragons of Mericidia do that I did not? Wherefore are they accursed and I exalted? 'Tis man's overweening belief in his own primacy that blinds him to the commonness of his condition and the truth of his own tyranny. As long as man is suffered to remain, the dragons shall never be at peace. Only when the plague of people has been expunged shall the children of Lord Bahamut be free. Then shall the world know true justice.
Stop it! Grandfather would never say such things. His belief that people were worth saving never faltered. He had faith in their strength, that they could stand together and push back against the darkness seeking to shape them.
A false hope. 'Tis folly to place one's faith in so flawed a race. Stand together? Huh. They would first need to agree on which direction to face. If history teaches us anything, it is that man cannot find common ground between his own 2 feet. Even you, twins, whose veins run with the same blood, struggle to fathom each other's reasoning. You hide your differing agendas behind the convenient banner of Eorzea's salvation. given your obvious self-interest. Can you truly claim no kinship with the oligarch? And though I hope they might bring you closer, 'twould seem that the twin grimoires I bestowed upon you were a wasted gesture.
There may well be truth in your judgment of Alize and me, but such a one-sided tirade bemoaning the evils of man rings false, coming from the lips of Archon Louisoix. Tell me, do you champion the cause of dragons because Bahamut compels you as his thrall? Or is it because you yourself have transcended the limits of man's existence?
Ah, so the possibility did not escape your notice. What I prayed for, and what I have become. These are the keys that unlock the truth behind Eorzea's rebirth. If you would have them, then you must needs take them by force. Come, rend this divine form asunder and claim your answers.
Man done did become a primal himself. Save the world.
But I thought... No. He has become a primal?
It is difficult, I know, but you must accept it. That entity is no phantom or imposter. It is our beloved grandsire.
Please, for his sake and for ours, you must defeat our grandfather.
Alright, I don't know if I can do this fight without dying. We're gonna find out. Chain of Purgatory. He is invulnerable. Cool. Still invulnerable. Splat. Yes, give me the music scrolls. I want them. Oh yeah, no cutscene. That's definitely not correct. There's gotta be something after that. Literally just yeeted their grandfather to the ground. Turn 3. Let's try cutscene. No, cutscene 3 is probably the death cutscene, because it would be intro. Maybe not? This we've watched.
Grandfather is truly gone this time. But better it end this way than
No, okay, that's right. But I just want. So is this the? Oh, okay, that's the death. Interesting. Figured there'd be something else there, but alright. Praise be to the voices.
Grandfather is truly gone this time. But better it end this way than the alternative.
I am yet here, Alice, my dear, sweet granddaughter.
Grandfather?
I must thank you, warrior of light. Without your valor, I might never have broken free of Bahamut's control. These last few moments are mine, to live as the man I once was.
This is all that I wanted. Yet, now that it is happening, I find myself struggling to believe it. Is it really you?
Grandfather, pray forgive me my insolence. It was not my intent to demean you.
Forgive you? I am proud of you, child. You were wise enough to deduce the manner of creature I had become. Alfino, Alize, if any here should beg forgiveness, it is I.
Grandfather, I must ask, will you not tell us what befell during the calamity?
Yes, yes, of course. You have come far to hear the truth. Let us then begin the tale at the Battle of Cartano, where clashed the forces of the Garlean Empire and the Eorzean Alliance. 'Twas there in the sky above the surging armies that the elder primal Bahamut broke free of the Red Moon Bahamut. In an effort to contain this avatar of destruction, I called upon the 12 to aid me in the creation of a prison of ether. But Bahamut would not be caged by such feeble bars. Too vast was his might, too fierce his rage. Little choice remained to me. I used the last of my strength to entrust our hope unto the future, and prepared to meet my end.
Oh wow, they really play the Flames of Truth in-game? This is pretty fucking cool. I like this cutscene. Good old CGI. That scene's probably gonna get me copyright slapped, but I did play all the other ones in my other parts, and they're still up, so who knows? Oh, I just threw my controller on the ground. Don't skip the cutscene.
As you have no doubt surmised, I did not perish. When the cage built from the essences of the 12 was destroyed, the sky was filled with a colossal cloud of ether. This drifting energy responded to the prayers of those fighting below, and to my own desperate wish that the dying realm be saved by infusing me with the power of a primal. I became the immortal phoenix, ancient symbol of rebirth. Rising into the sky, I struck Bahamut with all my newfound strength. The blow shattered his earthly form, and a shower of ether rained down upon the land. Thus began the rejuvenation of Eorzea. Believing the deed done, I relinquished my hold on that staggering energy, desirous that it should be returned to the realm without delay. But I had not reckoned on Bahamut's tenacious will. Even as he teetered upon the cusp of oblivion, the dragon reached out to claim me. Alas, within my fast fading form, enough remained of the Phoenix's energy to offer Bahamut a hold, and he dragged me along in his wake.
And thus began your existence as the Elder Primal's thrall.
I cannot help but wonder at his will to survive. Though he was all but obliterated, Bahamut found a way to seize the power you surrendered. That would explain why part of his physical form survived to be entombed underground.
It would also explain why Eorzea was so terribly warped. Even as the land sought to restore itself, the returning flow of ether was cut off.
Very good. When his grip on existence was once again secured, Bahamut did not cease his feast until he had consumed every last mote of ether that yet floated in the air.
And still he was not fully restored.
You must remember that by this time, much of the freed ether had already returned to the land. That which remained was not sufficient to reconstruct so massive a form in its entirety. But there did not need to be, not for a being sustained by the marvels of Allagan technology. As long as some piece of Bahamut persists, the Coils will seek it out and continue their regenerative task. The fragments of Bahamut appear motionless from the surface, but deep beneath the ground they had been searching, tunneling through rock and soil towards their escaped prisoner. And, as you have observed for yourselves, they found his heart. Warrior of light, heed me. You must put a stop to Bahamut's regeneration. Whether it be for man or for dragonkind, the question of justice is irrelevant. The Elder Primal will leave naught but a smoldering wasteland for both his children and ours. I beg you to defend Eorzea and guide its people to the future they yet struggle to find. This take you to the final internment, Hulk. 'Tis time for the tale of Bahamut and his part in the calamity to come to an end. Alvino, Alize, pray, come closer. Your hopes and dreams must no longer be an extension of mine. You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm, your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
Of course, Grandfather. I have already made it my mission to see this newborn Eorzea survive and flourish.
Alize, while I was yet enthralled to Bahamut, you spoke of my faith in man's strength. Know that your words reached me, imprisoned though my soul still was. So forceful was your conviction, I wonder if that belief has not become your own. Perhaps, after all your anger and sorrow was spent, you found something greater within you. See this fight to its culmination. 'Tis also your strength in which I have faith.
Thank you for everything. Pray, take your rest, Grandfather. You deserve it.
There are records of an art that allowed one to summon the power of a primal from the essence of its demise. And though I am no true primal, all that I have left, I give to you. Alvino, Alize, my darling grandchildren. May light's blessings ever keep and protect you.
Come, Warrior of Light. Our task remains undone.
That it does, my girl. That it does. Let's go kill a dragon god. That's the Louis Kind of a badass.
Twas a long and arduous road, but at last we reach its end. Farewell, Bahamut. I banish you back to the ether. did not think him capable.
Alize! Alize!
I had thought it finally over. I will not survive another blast. No. Is this how I honor my promise to Grandfather?
You must needs find your own reason to fight for this realm. Your own meaning in this sea of chaos. Will you do that for me?
I will, Grandfather. In fact, I believe I already have. That reason has been with me all along, guiding me. Eorzea's blade of light, shearing through endless shrouds of darkness. I have been shown the miraculous feats of which we are all capable, of which I am capable. Bahamut, you have wreaked enough havoc. I will not let your wrathful fires consume all that we know and love.
How long I have waited to hear you say that! You have found your resolve at last! Let me join my strength to yours. In this place, in this moment, our purpose has become one. Future of Eorzea!
God, these kids. I love them. Precious little twins.
This last task is yours, Warrior of Light. You must destroy Bahamut's crystal core.
They just fusion dance their books together. Eight droplets? Yeah, there are not 8 people going into this crystal. There is me, myself, and I. Nope, nope, there's only one person. Don't fool them. There's me. I'm the hero. No one else. God, I hope this VOD doesn't get muted on YouTube. It might, but hopefully it just gets, like, you know, not allowed to monetize, because it's not like I monetize my videos anyway. Because I'm not real. Alright, Bahamut Prime, have at thee. Make sure I don't hit the wall like that. Oh, yep, died. Yeah, so I need to go to Bahamut. Dive bombs, by the way. Yeah, no. This fight is doable, but I need to make sure I don't hit the wall. I think I have to approach Bahamut, because Bahamut's gonna dash first. So Bahamut's gonna dash from here. I might be able to anti-knockback this as well. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Ooh, why are you invulnerable? There we go. That was fancy. Now for another dive bomb. I know, game. It's a lot to catch up. I did just win. I am the hero. Oop, another dive bomb. Oh, there's twin there. I have to be careful. Oh, okay. I dodged it. Interesting. Okay, so I dodged it first. I dodged the twin Tanya dash. Just can't dodge the Bahamut dash. Storm. Oh, 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 out. Vulnerable. Can I hit you if I'm in here? No, I can't. Oh, there we go. Damage taken by Terra Flare is reduced, and damage dealt is reduced. Okay, so I take less damage from Terra Flare, but I also deal less damage. Oh, Bahamut, where are you? Here you are. Final coil of Bahamut complete. Faded copy of Answers. Oh, I think that's like the actual version of Answers. Let's go.
You did it! But one task remains. With this last coil disabled, there shall be naught left to bind Bahamut to this world. His beloved children will finally know peace. "'Tis done. He is truly gone." You knew, didn't you? You knew what Grandfather had become.
I was not certain, but from all I had gleaned, it seemed a distinct possibility. The scene people describe of the Battle of Cartano was one of unimaginable devastation, and 'tis through the combined prayers of the desperate and an abundant source of ether that primals are born. I merely put two and two together.
And you consider that a sufficient explanation? Well, however you stumbled across your theory, 'twas this revelation that made you wary of my attachment to Grandfather. You feared that in my obsession, I would fall under his primal sway. Is that why you decided to join us? To pull me back should I show signs of wavering?
Pray forgive me, sister. I wished only to protect you. Yet I see now that I needn't have doubted the strength of your conviction. May I ask you a question? What do you now intend to do with the truth you have uncovered?
Which particular truth was that, brother? The fact that desperate prayer gave rise to the primal phoenix? That this new god was responsible for setting Eorzea on the path to rebirth? Should such a tale become common knowledge, people would soon offer up their prayers in earnest. They would beseech Phoenix to complete the healing that was begun.
Yet as you and I know all too well, the very act of calling forth this savior would do more harm to the land than good. We cannot encourage such worship for this very reason. Were Grandfather forced to return as an ether-draining primal, it would undo all that he had worked to protect. Your abiding love for him was the key that unlocked the truth of the calamity. But keys may also serve to seal doors that were best left unopened. Let your love now guide your actions, and lock away deep inside the fate of both Grandfather and Bahamut.
Fear not, Alfino. I understand what must be done. The realm need not know the truth for it to be saved. That the Elder Primal is banished, to return no more. That is enough. Let us make our way back to the surface. Poor Oriange must be beside himself with worry.
Make sure that this is actually the last scene. Should be like, you did it.
You did it!
Yeah, okay. That was indeed the last scene. And so we now resume back to actual New Game Plus and finish up the finale. The final touches and Alize's path. I know that there are 2 cutscenes for this in the Neverending Story, so if it seems like they cut some stuff out again, we'll just go right back to the inn room. But I doubt they... Well, I can't really say I doubt they screwed up this part when everything was so wonky with the rest of it, but... Here's hoping they didn't screw up this part, you know? Yeah, no, we already watched all of the final clip. And here we are again. After that descent into darkness, the desolation of northern Thanalan seems paradisal. As promised, I shan't reveal the truth of the calamity to a single soul. However, the nations of Eorzea will require certain assurances that the threat of the new primal is gone. Kept in the dark over long, 'tis only a matter of time before they seek answers of their own accord. Let us recommend that the fragments of Bahamut are sealed off, that the truth may rest undisturbed. But first we must go to report to Oriange. It would not do well to keep him in suspense. I dare say we shall find him pacing up and down at the cerulean processing plant. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pretend to imitate bad ARR voice acting. I can hardly even imitate her other voice. Bad fake British voice accent, go! All of the characters sound the same, you say? Weird. Ah, the warrior of light returneth, undimmed from the depths of darkness. By thy triumphant bearing, I take it thou hast succeeded in thy mission, and yet thou art alone. Mistake me not, dear friend, full glad am I of thy safe return. But where, pray, are Master Alfino and Mistress Alize? Here, my friend, forgive our lateness. We took the scenic route. Bahamut is no more. The realm is safe. By the heavens, look at you! What horrors your young eyes must have seen. What suffering your young bodies must have borne. Pray tell me, where are you hurt? Your wounds must needs be cleansed and dressed at once. I shall make for you a poultice which draweth out. Be at ease, my friend. We are hale and whole, I assure you. We took a few tumbles, but the worst of our hurts are healed. I believe we have grandfather to thank for that. Master Louis Soir, then you met with him once more? But wherefore should Bahamut's thralls seek to ease your suffering? I promise to reveal all to you in due course, dear friend, but first there is a matter which requires our immediate attention. Now that Bahamut is defeated, we deem it best to bar entry to all of the fragments of Dalamud. To this end, we will convince the nation's leaders that the danger is past, and invite their cooperation in ensuring that the fragments are never again disturbed. Come, let us depart and seek an audience with them forthwith. A moment, sister. You need not burden yourself with this task. Urianger and I will more than suffice. Might you not take this opportunity to rest? The gods know you have earned it. But I am fine, brother. Besides, you have been through as much as I have. Oh, I see now. You would play your game of diplomacy and wish me out of the way. No, naught could be further from the truth, Alize. My lady, 'tis mine earnest belief that your brother hath your best interests at heart. You have more than done your part, and he desireth but to relieve you of a burden he might easily bear alone. I have some experience treating with dignitaries, you must allow, and as you never fail to remind me of my fondness for diplomacy, I feel it only right that I remind you of your aversion to it. Then it is settled. Urianger, pray make arrangements for a chocobo carriage. The ride should give us ample time to prepare our story. Alfie, no. Though our paths are different, we share the same goal, do we not? But of course, dear sister, that which we have just achieved together stands as testament to that fact. Whatever path we choose to take, our hearts shall ever lead us to the same end. Of that, I am certain. Thank you. There's a place that I should visit. Might I ask you to accompany me? But first, I do believe a change of garments is in order. I won't take a moment. The landscape is the same. Of course, there's no reason that it would be otherwise. Though it would be poetic for the fragments to magically disappear, I am well aware that they shall remain long after you and I are gone. The world may change irrevocably, but life shall ever go on. Let us take a closer look, shall we? I have no doubt that Alfino will do an admirable job concealing the truth of the calamity. When such truths as were revealed in those dark depths will never see the light of day. I myself agreed that it must be so. But the thought that the people of Eorzea shall forever remain ignorant of their savior, of your deeds, The injustice of it is almost too much for me to bear. How typical of you, Ginliana. Ever the heroine. Even so, I cannot deny that I feel better for your reassurance. But I want you to know that I will never forget. You were the one who freed Grandfather's soul and saved Eorzea from Bahamut's wrath. And though those great deeds will never be remembered in song, their consequences will be felt forevermore by every soul who calls this realm home. Yes, this spot will do. Her grandfather, Nael, and the dragons of Mericidia were all those who were taken by the calamity. At long last, our struggle with Bahamut is over. The realm, given new life through the prayers and sacrifices of countless souls, may look to a brighter tomorrow. When the dust of our adventure has settled, I shall embark on a journey. I mean to find my own reason to fight for Eorzea. When I do, I will fight with all my being. You've done so much for me, Ginliana. One day I hope to be able to repay you in kind. I have no doubt but that you will continue to help those in need and grow ever stronger in so doing. I shall endeavor to do the same. And if the 12 are kind, I hope one day to become Eorzea's sword in the darkness, as you are. Come what may, you may rest assured that I will not be outdone by Alfino. When next we meet, I promise that I will not disappoint you. Till that day, fare you well, my friend. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. Don't worry, Alize. When we meet again, you're going to be a badass. You're going to turn into a red mage, and then you're going to join me on an entire adventure all through the realms of the Alamigo and Kugane, and then you're going to get sucked away to another dimension. And then you're going to come back, and then you're going to help me stop the end of the world. Wait, what? Unable to suspend or complete New Game Plus quest from your current location. Please try again at different location. What do you mean? This is where the New Game Plus ends. Fascinating. That was weird. You completed the quest, The Binding Coil of Bahamut. Exiting New Game Plus mode. It was a rocky expedition. We've dropped a lot of frames through this part, but I love Alize with every fiber of my being, so had to get done. Needed the dialogue. It's gonna be jank as hell to sift through, but I'll get there. So I'm gonna highlight this, and you know, streams still do be trying to drop some frames. So I think that's my cue to go the hell to sleep. I don't know if streams are going to happen much before Sunday, because I'm going over a friend's house, and we're going to play a bunch of dumb video games.